My name's Kerry and I come from Oxfordshire. I have 6 grandchildren. I have 2 that live with my eldest son, and I have 2 that live with me and 2 that have been lost to the birth family and they've gone to adoption. My first grandchild is Kate and she's 11, and they go down then to the youngest one who's 5. Hope and Morgana came to me at the age of 4 months old after being born very prematurely. They were born 12 weeks early, weighing 2 pounds and 3 pounds. I came to have the children because my daughter was expecting a baby and we found out it was twins, and she was unfortunately in a place in her life where she'd made some bad life choices which influenced her ability to look after the children. Social services were involved with her and they decided that at 4 months of age that she couldn't look after the children, and fortunately they placed them with me. She was drug and alcohol dependent at the time. She was in a codependent relationship which was violent both ways, and we knew that there was a probability that the children would need to be looked after by somebody else, and it wasn't what we wanted, it wasn't what any of us wanted. So social services were very good. They actually put a huge care package in place that supported her and her partner to enable them to have the girls at home. Because of their prematurity, they stayed in Skaboo for a very long time, so they were weaned into caring for the children, if you like. They stayed in the hospital flat, and they went home to mum and dad and were with them for about 5 weeks before they came to us. It has a complete and absolute impact on your life, not just your emotional life, but everything you do, from your point of waking in the morning, if you've been to sleep, that's if you're lucky, you've been to sleep, to the time you go to bed at night, if the twins let you go to bed. And it's got a huge financial impact as well. I gave up my career because I didn't feel that I could be mum to Oliver and look after these 2 little babies and actually afford childcare for them, because there's 2 of them. You know, it's very difficult to afford childcare for 1 baby. For 2, it's nigh on impossible. So we became a one at work family. When we took on Hope and Morgana, Oliver, our son, was 9. So he was the youngest of 4, and he was very much still at home and dependent on us. So for him it was quite a challenge to suddenly find that he was sharing mummy and daddy with 2 very demanding little babies. He's been very good. He's made it very easy for us. He's just been a joy around them and they worship him. And actually it's just like having had 6 children myself. Although you go through all the emotions of going through what we had to do, and it was a residence order we went through, and that is heartbreaking because you know that even though you're going through this, you don't want to do it. It's not what you want to do. And there's a little part of you that thinks, well, I'm doing this to my own child, because in a way you are. You know, you're part of the system that is removing the children from your child. And that has an effect on everybody in the family, not just, you know, me as a grandparent and my role as a grandparent, but my role as a mother to my daughter, and my parents' role as well as grandparents. You know, they found it very difficult to deal with. The good thing is that in the last 7 months, she has completely turned her life around. She has got out of the relationship. She's with somebody else, which is a good, healthy relationship. She's drug and alcohol free. She's working. And I've got my daughter back. I first heard of the Grandparents Association rather oddly, actually. I was sitting in my GP's waiting room and flicking through magazines, and I saw it, just this little thing, contact the Grandparents Association. Now, I'm a qualified counsellor, and I thought, oh, someday somebody might need that. So I jotted it down in my diary, never ever in my wildest dreams knowing that 12 months later I'd be ringing that number myself. And that's what happened. And I actually rang them when my daughter was pregnant because I needed to talk to somebody about my fears. I was very fearful that harm was going to come to the babies, even though they were not born yet.